GAWNE. Overdose. This just came out recently, and I finally have time to sit down and do it. So the original is in the description down below. Give it a like, give it a comment. Make sure you support the artist. Here for independent artists. I absolutely adore them. I think that they're killing it out there. Yeah, that being said, you ready? GAWNE, let's go. Make sure it sounds up. Okay. For the record, I like a lot of the music that he's been putting out lately. I think he's, I don't know, there's just something about some of the videos he's been putting out.
First thing that came to mind was fentanyl laced inside. Last year I got a call, thought I was too old to cry. But when I heard my uncle died, oh my, it was fireworks. It hurts more than the words can describe it first. And I am sure it could have been me too, dead in the dirt. Cause I was 16 years old, high on perks. Going numb for these drugs on mine. All the pain they cause, not okay at all. Gotta run so far away from this place. Can't escape these walls, I don't got no one. I don't got no one to save me from myself. I just need some help. No one to call my friend. I get high for days on end. Sometimes I sleep past noon. Other days I don't leave my bed. They whisper I see you. Them demons in my head. Them demons in my head want me to become this. I used to be a healthy guy.
Just for the record, I mean, he's not wrong. This is a subject I know something about. I never was into pills. I just had this thing against pills. I still don't take them. Ibuprofen is as hardcore as I get. But that's the thing, is that a lot of people don't understand that. Have you ever sat there for a minute or done something? Hey, here's a good one. You ever been doom scrolling and then you realize like time has passed and you just wasted like 2 hours for no reason? Have you ever read a book and then kind of come out of it like, whoa, okay, wow, it's like, I got to get some stuff done around the house, or realize, I don't want to say that lost time kind of, but like you were doing something and you kind of tune out and you're all up in your head. Drugs do that too. So people don't realize that you're fighting against like disappearing in your own mind, which you get used to, and you want that and you chase that, and it tunes out everything that's going on. So you got all this stuff, like it's kind of like thinking of sitting in a house with all the walls are burning, you know, that there's a gif or a meme or whatever of the dog sitting there at the table while everything's on fire. Like, I'm okay. It's kind of that. And it's unfortunate because it's like you trick your brain into thinking that, you know, that numb, I don't care feeling and is better until you get sober, and then you realize, not so much. Anyway.
Demons in my head want me to become this. I used to be a healthy guy before I OD'd on what the doc prescribed me. Xanax pills, they can stop anxiety, but I popped too many and I lost sobriety. Look at our society, medicated to the gills. Opioids and these prescription pills, addiction kills. Open up and swallow as I down a whole bottle till it refills. Going numb for these drugs on mine. All the pain they cause, not okay at all.
It's kind of a double, the numb, N-U-M-B, and nom, like you're eating, you're consuming. That's the other thing. Yeah, this one's gonna be a lot of talking. The thing is that they do a lot of them are prescribed, but don't for 1 second think that people don't walk into there being like, oh, well, I really need Xanax. And they don't, and they know they don't. Maybe the doctor prescribed it and you're like, what's Xanax? Like in the first place, at the very beginning, not likely. Most of the time, and I've been in the healthcare industry for over 20 years, most people walk in, they know full and well what they want. They know full and well what they're going to try to get prescribed or to continue being prescribed or whatever. They have an agenda. Whether they've been on it before or not, they know what they want, and they're going to manipulate and say whatever. And unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword, because if you have providers that actually give a crap and are like, look, I'm not just going to hand out pills like candy, I'm not going to do it unless somebody actually needs it. They almost go too far because they're so used to getting screwed over by people who go in there with an agenda that people that actually might need it can't get it because they're so jaded against, drug seekers. And then you turn around and you have ones that just hand them out like candy, like, you know what, people are going to get what they're going to get. You might as well get it from me, thinking that they're doing something good or just not caring. It's pathetic, to be honest. It's why I don't take pills. I don't do that. I don't go to, of course, I also don't go to the doctor. I haven't gone since, I think, 2019, something like that. I prefer to not rely on, I've worked in the healthcare industry. Do you think that I trust, do you think I trust these people that are my peers to tell me what's wrong with me or what's going on? I mean, I've seen too much. Okay.
Opioids and these prescription pills, addiction kills. Open up and swallow as I down a whole bottle till it refills. Going numb for these drugs on mine. All the pain they cause, not okay at all. Gotta run so far away from this place. Can't escape these walls. I don't got no one. To save me from myself. I just need some help. Take the good, die young, in the bed, die old. Sometimes life can be so damn cold. I'm on the floor in a ball of pain while I call your name, like where'd you go? I don't got no one to save me from myself. I just need some help. I'm screaming, where'd you go? I'm screaming, where did you go? Some days the sun don't shine, sometimes I'm on my own. No one to call my friend when I've been feeling low. I'm screaming, where'd you go? I'm screaming, where did you go? Going numb for these drugs on mine. All the pain they cause, not okay at all. Gotta run so far away from this place. Can't escape these walls. I don't got no one to save me from myself. I just need some help. Take the good, die young, and the bad, die old. Sometimes life can be so damn cold. I'm on the floor in a ball of pain while I call your name, like where'd you go? I don't got no one to save me from myself. I just need some help. No one to call my friend. I get high for days on end. Sometimes I sleep past noon.
Damn you,
Other
GAWNE.
days I don't leave my bed. They whisper, I see you. Them demons in my head. Want me to become dead.
I told you he's been putting out some good music and it's pleasing to the ear. A lot to say on this. The hardest part are the normal families. You think they're normal, you think that your family's normal, you think that things are okay, and then you find out that they're not. I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. I was lucky enough to be in a situation where I knew it wasn't okay. Um it's that scared that, you're gonna wake up and something will happen to somebody that you love, especially when you know that they have a problem. One of the hardest things in the entire world is being completely alone. Like, I don't necessarily reach out that often. I'm a power through kind of person. It's worked for me because I have been in situations in my life where I had absolutely nobody. Um, whether it was because I was isolated or isolated myself because I was justifying bad behavior of myself and, situations that I was in, it doesn't matter. The fact is you end up alone. Especially when you're doing drugs and stuff, you end up alone because people are judging you and you don't want to hear it. You just want to continue doing what you're doing. So you isolate yourself. And what sucks is that you're not really alone sometimes. You have people that if you would reach out, but you don't want to hear it. That's what happened to me. I'm not saying every situation is like that, but a lot of times, a lot of people have somebody. They've just pushed them away because they didn't want to have them tell them, no, this is not the right life. You need to do something different. You need help. Let me help you. And they're like, I don't want help. I just want, more Xanax, or I want whatever. And they isolate themselves. And then they feel like they're completely alone, but they're not. but they don't reach out because then they don't want to be a burden. On the flip side, one of the downfalls of doing these type of, like, especially pills, is that you tend to go into depression. You feel like it drags you down. And so if you run out, a lot of them are downers. A lot of people like downers. I have never figured that out. I am not a downer person. I'm an upper person. I was always an upper person. Like, I needed more energy. I didn't need less. I didn't want to completely like lose time and stuff. That freaks me out. But people go and it drags them down into a depression. And then they take something that's a downer to kind of combat that. And it's like, well, that sounds counterintuitive. But they just get into this vicious spiral. But you see this, the people left behind, the people that's heartbroken, that are hurting because of a choice that somebody made, because they just don't want to handle it anymore. And I understand that it's like the people, they glorify mental health issues so much that people claim them when they don't have them. People think it's a badge of honor instead of understanding that this is devastating. It's devastating for the people involved. It's devastating for people going through it. And so to me, to be so flippant, I'm not saying he is, I'm saying it's like social media, to be so flippant about mental health issues and to hashtag it and be like, oh, well, we're in the anxiety bucket. Let's go. Like, ew, ew, ew. People with actual anxiety can't leave their house. Do you understand? Like, people with actual depression can't even get out of bed. They're sitting there rotting in their own filth because they can't get out of bed. They just cannot. It's actual depression. It's not, oh no, I'm sad because something didn't work out. I gotta find a new job. Like, that's not depression, y'all. That's not depression. I'm talking clinical depression. I'm not talking, I'm sad, I don't feel good, and I wish that I had something to make me feel better. Get a hug. I mean, I'm not trying to be nasty. What I'm saying is that by glorifying it and encouraging people to wallow in these mental health issues, and a lot of times they don't actually have clinical mental health issues, they're not diagnosed, that you end up exacerbating bad behavior and dangerous behavior, especially in young people. And it just makes me sick. I have a kid who's still at home. I have two young adults in their early 20s, my two older children, and then my daughter is 12. So this is a big issue. I know I'm talking a really long time about this, and I know I'm going to get some pushback on this because people don't like my opinions on mental health, because I'm like, look, just because you're not happy today doesn't mean that you are clinically depressed. It doesn't mean that now you get to say, look, I'm always depressed. I have anxiety. Just because, oh, I feel uncomfortable in meetings. Everyone feels uncomfortable in meetings. Nobody likes to go. Everyone hates it. Everyone hates being put on the spot. Well, most people, except for psychopaths who like to be on camera. Wait. Just saying. No, but what I'm saying is it's like, can we stop making it normal? Because what happens is the people who need help aren't getting it, because all of these people who are like, oh my God, I have depression. Those people are taking the attention and the help and the funding and the ability and they're watering down the actual people that need the help. And it pisses me off to no end. And it makes, I've actually seen it happen where people are like, if you don't have some kind of emotional issue, then you obviously like, you're weird. And it's like, what? Who does that? Who's ew. Super long rant over. Thanks, GAWNE. You sent me on another rant. And I sit here as I'm speaking thinking, man, I wish I could like edit this part out. But then I'm like, no, because this is me and this is what it makes me think of. I love music that makes me think and makes me want to say something and brings up issues that people need to be talking about. And people need help. And you can't get help when all of that help is focused on these hashtags and trendy mental health issues. Because what happens is you suck kids into this spiral saying, well, because you're mad that you got grounded, now you're depressed, and so now you need pills, and then you get addicted to pills, and then they can't snap out of it, and then something like this happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's this vicious cycle, And it's exacerbated by idiots online. This is why I don't scroll. I literally, I talk about doom scrolling. I don't actually do it. It's a thing. The only reels I look at are either at the very top of my feed, the very top one, or somebody sends it to me. I don't scroll because I just don't, I ain't got time for that. Anyway, rant over. Good gracious. GAWNE, it's your fault. I'm blaming you 100%. If you're still watching GAWNE at this point, I'm just telling you I'm blaming you. The original's in the description down below. Give it a like, give it a comment. Make sure you support the artist. Love independent artists. Thank you for bringing up heavy topics that most people aren't going to talk about, at least talk about in a productive way. And the fact is that the music that he is putting out is absolutely amazing. Ow. Ma'am. Excuse me, little missy. She's climbing me like a tree. That being said, super awkward, unprofessional, and say hello to Pixie outro. Stop putting your butt in my face. Save me. Get your take care of yourselves and each other. Remember that you are valid and you matter. Don't let anyone tell you differently. I have to get my cat. Don't jump. Don't you dare. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Isn't she cute, though? It's fucking kittens. Ow! Ow! That's my back. Okay, I gotta go. Bye!